One of the reasons I like working for Cars.com is definitely the work environment. It's a very fun, friendly place. We have about 40 employees here in the Santa Monica office, which is a stark contrast to corporate headquarters in Chicago. Cars.com as an organization has about 600 plus employees in a very big building in Chicago. It's a skyscraper with 3 floors, and I found that working at places like that, environments like that, you don't really get to know the people that you work with that well because there are just too many of them. But fortunately here in Santa Monica, we only have 40 employees, like I said, and so everyone is very friendly and everyone's talking on a daily basis, and it's a very collaborative environment. It's almost like a big family, I would say. We have company-sponsored happy hour events like regularly, holiday events. Sometimes we have Wii tournaments, and so everyone gets along like a big group of friends, and so that's very important to me.
I really enjoy working here because I find the leadership of the company to be extremely strong, and I also find the environment to be one where we get to learn new things and get to experiment with new technologies. Coming from a startup environment, it was important to me to find a place where I could learn from people and to find leadership that was extremely both good leaders and transparent, and I found that both at Cars.com.
What I like about working at Cars.com is that we're really given an opportunity to impact the business. It doesn't take a whole lot. If you're able to convince one more smart person here and make a case for it, you're generally given the ability to do what you think is right and push the business forward. For instance, last week at a Java users group, we ran across a really cool new technology using Groovy, which is completely different. We don't even know Groovy yet, but already we're working to implement and rewrite our tests doing it because we think it's a better solution.
Our team is handling a huge set of queries, including the lead distribution, ETL processes, database administration, system administration, and internal tools. We are using the newest technologies and best software engineer practices. For example, lastly, we improved our current system by integrating the multi-threading system that interacting with third-party partners. And it's really improved our performance and improved our profitability.
Our system administrator has been really interested in DevOps, and he convinced me. So we're doing DevOps. We're moving our entire server infrastructure into code, and we're going to be one of the first companies that I know about doing this. Our friends aren't even doing this yet, and that's really cool because one guy, one idea, and he said, "Hey Gabe, why don't we do this?" And I thought it was a good idea, and we're doing it.
Another reason I like working for Cars.com here in Santa Monica is the technical team. We have a very talented group of professionals working with us. We get along very well. We operate as a team. There's a lot of collaboration. There's a lot of discussions. We brainstorm ideas. When a developer is given a problem or a task or project, very rarely is it a one-man kind of job. We always get together and we hash out solutions and we talk about extendable architectures and design patterns and pretty much try to figure out the smartest way to solve the problem in a way that will be good for us now, be good for us 6 months down the line, be good for us a year from now. So I'm very, very happy with the technical team that we have here.
So it's not just about getting the code done, getting it done on time. It's also about putting in the good work to make sure that it's tight and it's leverageable. We do code reviews, and we actually really get to think about everything we're working on. And I definitely enjoy that part of it because it makes me a better coder, and we get to share, and we get better.
The people I found to be both very fun to work with as well as very engaging intellectually. One of the important things I had as far as priority when I was looking for a job was a place where I could learn from people and I could learn new things, but I could also be a little bit more relaxed. The environment where I came from, which was more of a startup environment, morphed into something that was a little too corporate and stuffy for me. And at Cars.com in Santa Monica, everything's a little bit more relaxed, while at the same time being more technically engaging and more just generally fun to work.
So a recent project we just finished is Dealer Details, which is ended up being a very big project. You know, we did it in phases. There were 3 phases, and we took a week or more to plan each one. And it's basically, it consists of details pages for each dealer. So if you choose a specific area, you can choose a dealer from the list, and then you get to a page that has pictures of that dealership, so you can see what it looks like, their hours, their phone number, other various information like their inventory. You can actually see what they have on the lot and how much everything costs just right there in front of you on that page. So it's really useful. You know, we have a dealer model that handles all dealer database interactions. We used the builder design pattern to create a car collection class, which is already in use on several other projects since we started this. One thing that made it so neat is that we do things that can be used elsewhere. So we're not just building this project, we're building things that can be used in other projects. So in the future, other projects take a quarter of the time because of the way that we approach things.
One of the interesting projects I've worked on at Cars.com is the safety ratings widget, which showed stars for all of the ratings of all the cars, and it was a great addition to the site because until now we've not had that. And so it raised search engine optimization, and it will bring people to the site more to make them interested. And it seems like a small little thing on the screen, but it's actually got a lot of components. There's data that has to be retrieved for all the thousands of cars and all the different ratings. It has to come into the system, and then it has to be used in such a way that at each level we could piece it apart and pull it and put it onto the different screens where it goes on.
As for things I've worked on, currently we're working on an integration for Facebook using their login ability, and that's been a very interesting project as I've been able to get both experience with Facebook APIs and get into some of the inner workings of some of the more advanced JavaScript libraries and framework that we have.
I was excited to work on our new car locator product because it included so many cool new technologies. It was a pure JavaScript app. There were only about 100 lines of back-end code to power it. But we had to solve a lot of pressing problems. We got to really show off the solid-state drives that run our databases because the queries onto the development system were slow, and I was worried. But when we got on production, nothing is over a second. We have about 3,000 lines of JavaScript code doing all the really cool things you can do with JavaScript and not having to worry about cross-browser compatibility because we decided to use jQuery.
In my experience working in development for approximately 9 years, this is one of the few environments that I've seen that both is engaging and interesting, invests in emerging technologies, while at the same time remaining a relaxed environment, though all of the benefits of a large corporation come hand in hand with all of the benefits of what feels like a very small startup environment. I feel like that's one of our major differentiators from many of the other places that I've both worked and seen people come from working in.
One of the neat things about working here in Santa Monica is that, well, it's Santa Monica, so there's lots of great places to go, and we have a nice schedule, so we can go out to lunch if we want to, or stay here and work at our desk and eat at our desk. It's really very flexible. It's not like where we are stuck here working late at night. As a matter of fact, everybody's pretty good about getting out here at a reasonable hour. So that's definitely something I like because it means that I can have my home life, I can spend time with my family, and I can also put in good work here.